warning all you sexy silver stackers out there, you do not want to turn away from the channel today. I think we've got some big stuff to talk about, and I truly think at this point, March 2026 is going to be D-Day. It is going to be the day that silver storms the beaches of Normandy. And will it survive? We don't know. But there is a lot going on with the news. Price explosions, as we've all seen. Prices going up after hours, during hours, in the middle of the night, in the middle of the day. It is uncontrollable here. Even with the massive pullbacks and COMEX changes and everything, nothing seems to be able to stop this absolute freight train. So we're going to get into some stuff today that I've been looking into, and I think it's important. Also, as always, thank you so much for being here first, Mr. L. Manuel. We got Robert W. in the house. Robert, what's going on, baby? And then SMG, good weapon. Yeah, we're just hanging out, but man, oh man, silver as it is doing something unprecedented. I mean, we all look at that chart, and I think everybody who looks at the chart says, you know what, that can't be healthy, but it sure is exciting. When is it going to top? When is it going to have a pullback? What's going on? And yet, every week, we just kind of trickle up a little further. And the title is Silver Marches On, because it's a little double entendre for you there. Not only does silver continue to increase in value, but I'm going to show you soon, after we do our sort of like our opening here, I'm going to show you soon why I think March is going to be absolutely, I don't know. I want to say like apocalyptic, but I don't know if it's going to be in a good or a bad way, because there's something on the horizon on March that is, it's just crazy. You'll see in a second. Anyway, Silver Stacker, what's going on, boys? In front of you today, I did pick up another $5 face of old Franklin half dollars. So if we're adding these to the list here, these Franklin halves will be added to our total collection. I think that puts us up to like a nice whopping 463. Also, Sober Stacker, congratulations on surpassing 1,500 days of sobriety. And I believe another, I didn't catch it on the last video, but I believe another, is it 2 weeks of cigarette free as well, man? Tough challenges. I bet you're building a lot of self-control, willpower, discipline out of this journey that's going to take you far and far and far into the future, my friend. That's good stuff. Yeah, so if you're out there doing something like that for yourself, your own personal goals and challenges, whether it's 2026 or whether it's just a life improvement goal, you know, keep sticking with it, man. There's somebody out there that cares, and somebody out there that's rooting for you, even if you don't know who the heck they are. Keep up. Yeah, so let's just, should we get into the meat yet, or should we give people an opportunity to come on in and check out the channel? What do you guys think? Should we just get into the meat of this? We always start with a little bit of price action validation here to see what's going on in the world of precious metals charts, and then we hop into our news. So let's go ahead and just do it, I guess, you know? Stop beating around the bush, Dragoon. All right, here we go. All right, flip it over. Again, just as always, just a reminder. What that disclaimer should really say is, I ain't your daddy. Handle your own money. My pleasure, man. My pleasure, Silver. Thanks for being here and stopping in for your evening. I know you guys all have something you can be doing this evening. The fact that you chose to be here is awesome, man. All right, you guys asked for it. Here we go. Early hours in the Asian markets trading already. We're sitting here looking at, yep, you are reading these numbers correctly. We're up another 2.37% in the early hours at 88.87. Current bid price, ask price is $89.12. Woo, I can't keep up. Gold, 4,616. Gold has really stabilized this last few days while silver has taken off, but 4,600 for gold, up a paltry 0.67%. Man, I would take a 1% gain a day for the rest of my life in any asset if I could lock it in. You guys feel me on that one? Anyway, Platinum 2.57%, $60 gain at $2,393, and Palladium $1,858 at 41. Also, another and in other news that not too many people care about, we'll check it out. Copper, I believe, is doing pretty solid here, ladies and gentlemen. Copper, I think this is the first day that copper has ever breached $6 a pound and has actually stayed above $6 a pound without crashing completely to a halt. Also, if you were wondering, this on this main channel here, or this main channel, on the main screen here, this is a little experiment I've been doing to learn how to do forging. So these are not silver bars as much as I kind of wish they were right now. These are actually R95 pewter. They do contain like trace amounts, 0.5% silver. I think they have copper, and then they have whatever the main ingredient is, 10 or whatever it is. But I got these because I wanted to work through the, the whole melting and casting. So I actually made these little coins, I guess you could say. They look more like planches for casting, but I'm going to go ahead, and my next step with these is to clean them up a little bit and then stamp them with R95 pewter and my name and year. I might melt some of them down, but my goal is to get these down to like 1 ounce. These are on an average of like 1.7 ounces, so I need to make them a little thinner. But I'm just learning how to do this whole smelting, casting, pouring, all that kind of stuff, stamping with this metal, and then I'll learn the others. Anyway, I know that's not exciting. It's not as exciting as silver and gold going up freaking crazy, but I just thought I'd let you guys know what I'm doing, because the goal is to use these as rewards for channel members in the future, as thank yous. So having a little nice little commemorative token or whatever. Brilliant's in the house. Thanks for coming in and saying hello. If you're lurking in the shadows in the background there, make sure you take a second to click the like button for us and drop a comment. Tell us what you think about this silver rally. As always, I get comments saying copper is the new silver. That would be nice, but not convinced. Sober Stacker, I'm not convinced either. I think copper still remains a fantastic play for a metal that you can flip and turn into something exciting, right? You could buy a whole bunch of 1 ounce copper blanks, and you could laser etch them with really cool designs and sell them online for a premium profit or something. I can understand that. Roadkill 80 in the house. Thank you, sir. Hopping in here. But yeah. Okay. Dragoon, you have said twice now, 3 times, thrice, 4 times that that you think March is going to be the absolute D-Day of silver, and I do. What's up, Diesel? What's up, Logan? You guys like those? Yeah, as I get better and like learn, pewter is a very soft metal that melts at like 450, 500 degrees Fahrenheit. So I have this little electric melter, like it's got a crucible and stuff, and it's got a pouring crucible and handle and all that stuff. So it's really kind of nice, and I'm just using it to practice and learning the consistencies and metals and how much is an ounce and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I understand metals have different densities and weights and properties, but I'm still trying to learn. All right. Breaking news coming out of the U.S. Mint. This is not why I think March is going to be the day of the kings of silver. I genuinely think that we need to hold on to our silver right now. Yeah, anyway. Dear valued customers, to maintain transparency and a positive customer experience, we are reaching out to share an important update. Due to metals costs, pricing adjustments are being evaluated across all numismatic products. In addition, rapidly rising silver prices may result in silver numismatic products being temporarily removed from sale while pricing is updated. The hypocrisy of me reading this after literally having a video saying I don't think there's ever going to be a world where you can't just buy silver. But anyway, it's okay. We're not there yet. I'm still right. I'm still right so far. We are working expeditiously to update pricing in order to maintain product availability. However, we wanted to communicate in advance in case you noticed changes on the United States Mint website. Once pricing has been updated, we will notify you. For the most current product pricing and availability information, please visit our product schedule at blah, 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 blah. Please note subscriptions, blah, 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 blah. Here's an interesting thing about this, though, is why does the U.S. Mint care? Shouldn't they have sourced the silver to forge into their numismatics and their proofs and sets and kits and all that stuff? Shouldn't they have paid a lower price already? So why not, like, am I crazy for thinking this, guys? Why not just price it based on the margin of profitability that you anticipated for the price that you paid for the silver and sell it to the general public, still generating that same profit margin. But why do you have to be so, I don't know, I guess, like, why do you have to kind of worry about the current exact market price? Unless you're buying the silver at this market price, in which case I would understand. But I have to imagine that they have a significant amount of silver already in, custodian of, to turn into their numismatic items. And they probably get a pretty decent rate for it. Just keep your same profit margins, just price it whatever it is. When you sell it, you're still selling it. I guess they don't want people buying them out and arbitraging it. I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me. It just tack on your margin and move. But anyway, I don't know. I saw this out there on the interwebs. I don't know if you guys saw this as well, but let me know what you think about this. You traded for another 10th ounce of gold today, Robert? Yeah. I have been picking up gold and platinum and silver pretty regularly. I plan to hold, my benchmark for this is probably to trade undesirable silver into more desirable silver every $5 increment from here to $100. So I did it at 80. I guess I need to do it again at 85. And then 90 is probably my next spot that I plan to do it, because we kind of blew right through 80. So I'll wait till 90. I'll trade in another 5 ounces of generic, and I'll probably pick up like 5 American Silver Eagles or something. And then I'll do it again, and I'll do it again. And I'll just keep kind of trading up into that other, higher quality silver. But yeah, and I'm buying gold with it as well. So I don't know. I feel like right now it doesn't really matter what your strategy is. You can't really lose when all prices are running up. But yeah, so here we go. Here's another. I thought y'all might enjoy this. I thought this was pretty funny. I saw this on somewhere on a social media post on X or whatever. But your silver, when it's $20, we all know this feeling right here. This guy's got the perfect face for this. When it's $20 an ounce and you're buying it, everybody around you is looking like you're an idiot. Like, why would you buy silver when you could just buy stocks, and stocks go up, on average 10% a year? Why would you buy silver and all it does is go down, or it stays flat for 10 years? Like, we all know that. And your wife's like, we could have used that money for going out to eat, or fixing the paint job or something. We all know this. And then, here we are today, right? Silver's $84 an ounce, and like, you're the king of the family. You've generated so much wealth for your family, and everybody loves you, and it's such the right choice, and we're all on board for silver. So, and then $300 an ounce over here to the right. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I believe the implication here is that you got divorced and she took half. I don't know. Or maybe she's taking credit for the incredible foresight and financial planning for the family there. I don't know what this depicts, but my assumption is that it led to a divorce and now she's took half. Anyway, funny, I guess. It depends on your sense of humor there. All right, we are now breaching $89.03. So hooray, hurrah. We have broken $89, ladies and gentlemen. All right. If I get into the meat of this, it might be a short stream, unless you guys have something you want to talk about. But yeah, silver just continues to do the thing. All right. This is 5 days. This is the last. This chart is 5 days, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a 2-month chart, a 3-month chart. This is not the 1-year chart. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 5-day chart. 5 days. Am I annoying you yet? 5 days. $74 on January 8th. $88.87 on January 13th. What in the heck is going on? We have a $15 increase in 5 days. I have updated my pricing charts on my inventory so often. Like, it feels like 3 times a day just to keep up with where things are at. I don't even know what's going on. I have a pretty detailed inventory of everything I own and the value of it all at spot prices and stuff. And it's just like, I don't know, something crazy happened. So what is that crazy thing? Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the reason we went live today. This is over there on Clive Thompson's channel. He's an excellent, excellent guy. And he was just talking about silver, so I thought I would give it a listen. And then I've taken what he's talked about, and I've gone on the actual CME Group's website and pulled the data for myself so that we can cross collaborate and listen. No, I lost my audience again. All right. So here we go. Oh, Clive, so move your big fat cursor, Clive. Hold on. Got a big giant cursor on the screen. There we go. Let's just go here. Let's go back. Okay. Let me break this down. Okay. This is historical charts of COMEX silver delivery notices. Think of that as contracts. So what you're seeing on this page, January through December 2024, are the quantity of contract volumes, okay, that are standing for deliveries, meaning silver standing for delivery. So I have a contract, and rather than just rolling it over, meaning I'm going to sell it and trade it into the next contract and take my profits and go to the next contract, take my profits, right? That's rolling it over. Or you could just simply trade it and sell it and get out of it and, take cash settlement. These are going to delivery, meaning I want my silver and I want it now. Okay. So January of 2024, 1,360 contracts stood for delivery. January 2025, you can see the increase going up here, 2,370, but still not a ton, right? Not a ton. Already, I just want to remind you, I think he did this video on like January 8th or 9th. Today's January 13th. We still have more than half the month to go. We have 6,860. The change of percentage from 2024 to 2025 was 1.74x. The change of percentage from 2024 to 2026 is 5 times more contracts stood for delivery. So remember that number, 5 times more. What's up, Happy Stacker? Thanks for saying hello. Appreciate you being here. Okay, just look at this chart. February was about the same as in 2024. February was about the same as January. April was about the same. June was about the same. August was about the same. September about the same. I'm making a point here, so you're gonna have to bear with me, guys. Kevin Hawthorne, thanks for being here, sir. Notice how the off months really aren't that exciting, right? Like they're kind of lame. They're almost always the same. You could probably average this out. Now, 2024, excuse me. Now, I knew something was going on in 2025 as the price continues to increase very rapidly. Notice that the contracts going to delivery keeps increasing and increasing and increasing and increasing. Now, this is a question for the class. How many ounces of silver, and winner gets an applause, how many ounces of silver are in one contract, right, on the COMEX? One contract equals how many ounces of silver? Question of the day. Okay, so we have not even closed. I'm bringing this up because notice that number 6,860 is higher than every single month in 2024 except December. Okay, and we're not even fully through the month of January yet. Okay, so most likely it's going to be over the month of January here. All right. February is 4,000. Look at the numbers. Look at the increases, right? We're almost 2x on all those lame duck months. We're almost 2x on everything. 2x, 2x, 2x. On the big months, right? We've got a 5. It's not 5x, but it is 2.67, 2.12, 2.53, 2.47, right? You can see where I'm going with this. If 5,000 ounces is correct, silver comes in first. So each one of these is equivalent to 5,000 ounces of silver being asked to be delivered. Okay, like I want the physical silver dropped off at my address, okay, or my vault or wherever it goes. And this number is drastically increasing. And just in January, we're already at 5 times more than 2024. In 2024 March, it was 5,487. So let's just for shits and giggles, even though it's going to be more than that, Let's just 5x that number, and we can probably expect, what are you thinking, 25,000? Oh, but you wait. Look at this. Also, I think he converts it to ounces. If for those of you who need to see it rather than hear it, here you go. It's converted to ounces right here. So this was the same equivalency that there's 80 million ounces up for contract in March of 2025, and that 34 million ounces of silver is already up for contract in 2026 in January. Now look here. So I went over to the CME group to see what their open volume and currently standing to close volume is at. Okay. Here we go. January's contracts, 739, just like what he was talking about, which I'll show you here on this screen. Okay. So here we're talking about the total registered ounces of silver available. So when it's registered available for delivery, that means it's been inspected, it's been approved, it's available, literally available to be delivered, is only 123,900,000 ounces. Total eligible, the second line at the top, let me maximize this. The second line at the top is eligible, but it's not registered. So like it meets all the qualifications and criteria to be available for delivery, but it's not currently. But it can be, but it's not. This total, the combined total right now, guys, not including anything delivered in January and February, is at 439 million ounces. Are we still tracking? You know, you can throw a 1 in the chat if you're still following me and you want me to keep going, because I don't want to lose you guys. I think it's pretty clear where I'm going with this, but okay. And reminder, we have contracts open. This was obviously taken after. January had 604 contracts open. Now they have 739 open. So these are open interest contracts. They could close, they could not close. We don't know. We don't know yet if these contracts are going to go to delivery or not. But 170 of them have already gone to delivery in January. So do 170 times 5,000. There you go. There's some data. Okay. Let's look at February. 1,842 is the total volume in February. All right. Obviously, they haven't gone to delivery. Oh, you got the applause. Oh, sorry. Where's your applause? Hold up. Hold. Good point. Good point. Hold on, I gotta find something that... Oh, that doesn't work. Hold on. There it is. Was that good? Here, I'll give you this too. I'll give you a... We'll give you a 2-time golf clap. That's my man Sober right there, coming through. Coming through. All right. All right. You guys, you still with me, right? Okay, I see some ones in the chat. Thanks. Stapler, what's up? Colorado, what's up? Everybody, Steve White, what's going on? Brilliance, how's it going? All right. 3,872 contracts are already being traded on February. Guys, have you looked at March yet? Remember I said I think D-Day is March. March 2026 is the day it all collapses. If you can't read what these numbers are, there's an open interest of contracts at 100,764 contracts. 100,764 contracts. If I go back over to here, look at the historical data again. Thanks to Clive for putting this chart together. The historical data in 2025, 16,149 contracts closed in 2025 in March, which was 8 times more than 2025 in January, which was almost 3 times more, basically exactly, 3 times more than was closed at March 2024. So we're in an upward trajectory. So my assumption is it's going to be more than March of 2025. It's going to be more than January of 2026. I think that's a pretty fair assumption here. 100,000 open right now. There have been 150,000 traded. Guys, if just, I don't even, if 50% of these, if 50% of these go to close, that is around 250 million ounces of silver just in this month, not even including these and these. And there's not even that much available. If for some reason all of them went to close, I don't know where the silver would even be. I don't know what's going to happen, but March is, something is going down in March. Look at the next few months contracts. 11,000 in May, right? This was another, quote unquote normal one. And then you have the small ones, and then you have the normal ones, then you have the small ones, right? It was the same thing we saw in that. But look at the numbers. Why are they not caring about May? Why do they not care about July or September yet? Maybe they haven't got there yet and they will. I don't know. But they sure as hell care about March. It's going to all blow up in March. Something is going down. Either the COMEX is going to completely change everything about how it does business, or every single ounce of silver that's available will be gone and being held for delivery, or being postponed and delayed for delivery, which means that all the silver that exists out there that's extra will be getting bought up to be turned into silver for delivery for the COMEX. I don't know. Or that's already been starting to happen and they've been anticipating this in the future. I can't tell you what happens here. I don't know. I don't know enough about what could happen. But if you're just comparing month over month, year over year, that is a very, very, very significant difference in what we can expect here. So anyway, I don't know what you guys think about that. But yeah, time will tell. What's up, Wholesome One? I found that to be absolutely interesting. I don't know. America takes Greenland in March. Okay, first off, we're not taking that country. All we're gonna do is literally go there, shake hands with some people, build some bases, put up some stuff, work on some deals for businesses, unilaterally with the Greenland people, and call it a day. They restored the Republic, and the Republic runs out of silver. Just look it up. It's true. Hold on. What are you talking about, Brilliance? Did part of your message get cut off again, Brilliance? I heard on Salivate Metal the COMEX might do 100-ounce contracts for cash settlement only. Good for quick trading and paper silver. I don't know. I don't think the COMEX wants anybody. I don't think the COMEX wants anybody extra trading on their platform right now, especially not small fish like 100-ounce contracts. I don't think that they want that, because the whole reason they're doing these margin adjustments and percentages margins versus a hard set dollar amount margins. The whole reason they're doing this is to flush out little guys so that they can't essentially they can't like trade on it, causing a little bit more confusion and turmoil. Like, they're trying to flush them out. I would think that $100-ounce contracts would be so cheap that it would, like, anybody could just go trade. I don't think that helps them. Put up a few flags and no trespassing signs. Yeah, exactly. That's basically all that's gonna happen. Some barbed wire fences are gonna go up with sniper towers around them, and there'll be a military base that goes out there, and then we'll have our golden dome will be set up, and it'll spell Trump with drones and lights every night at midnight, and the drones will fly around with the word Trump in gold lettering all over the country of Greenland. That's how that's gonna go. All right, so what do you guys think? I need some very educated people to explain to me. We could use AI. I don't really want to, though. 8901 Gitco for me right now. Sober. Maybe just popped different. But what happens? Like, what do you guys predict? What's our prediction for the quantity of contracts that actually stand for delivery here. I'm going to guess, let's see. We went up almost 3 times from 2025 to 2026 January, and the price has gone up significantly just in January. I'm going to guess 40,000 contracts. That's going to be my guess. 40,000 contracts stand for delivery in March, causing absolute mayhem on the physical silver markets. There, because okay, also Clive in this video, like again, go check out this video, it's pretty good. Clive also talks about how if it's so obvious that you can arbitrage between the US and the Shanghai markets, right? When you know silver's 83 in the US and then the Shanghai market it's 92, it's like if it's that easy to arbitrage, then why aren't you seeing airplanes full of silver flying out of like New York or whatever, or California, going to Shanghai, right? Why aren't you seeing that? Because there's not enough silver to do that. The industrial players and the banks in the US probably want it for themselves, and they're not trying to just arbitrage it out. They're trying to just get whatever they can get and store it and keep it and wait for it to go up, and then reuse it or sell it or use it at the lower price that they purchased it at. So he made a very good point with that. It's like you're not seeing the narrowing and you're not seeing the arbitrage happen. So why? But then when we go and dig into the CME group's outstanding volume, it's all about to be bought up. Like it's all about to be gone. I don't know where it's gonna go. You're an educated professional. Thank you, Silver Serpents, for being here. Yeah, Clive is a smart guy. Yeah, he's got some really great insight on some things. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You want to go back to that? So, yeah, some of y'all came in a little late to the party here. We already covered some of the jokes and the memes, but yeah, I've been waiting for an online order for 2 weeks now. It usually ships within 2 days. Wholesome one. So I buy. Excuse me. Sorry, I lost my voice there for a second. I buy online quite often. There was a period of time there where I bought at minimum once a month, and I can tell you for a fact, it went from my ACH clearing in like 2 days and then being shipped in like one more day after that and being delivered in like 2-3 days after that. I used to be able to place an order and have my silver in my hand and within 7 days, like 7 business days. Within 7 business days, I had my silver. Now it takes 2 weeks before they even like confirm payment and ship it out, just to even start the shipment process. So yeah, I'm with you, dude. It is taking a long time to get silver from online. I have been buying some peer-to-peer and some eBay because I do feel like those actually ship a little quicker. Surprisingly, you know, like it's funny how the markets shift. Things shift and you got to be able to just be flexible, right? Don't be so locked into your one source that you're not able to like, you know, check other people. But there are options out there. Start small and build up. But yeah. Sober says, I predict chaos. Yeah, I don't know, Sober, what else to predict, man. I'm with you. I genuinely, I just don't know, buddy. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know what happens. I just look at these charts, man, and I'm not familiar enough. Futures, you know, metals futures was never a place that I was really engaged with my investment, you know, knowledge and experience. So I don't know how many of these are going to actually stand for delivery. I'm just going off of the charts that other people have brought up, and I'm reading it, and I'm just making educated guesses based on, you know, just predictions based on past numbers and past percentages. And it looks to me like there's going to be a significant number. I mean, just the number of contracts. Can we just take a second to understand that 100,000 contracts is more than like, it's more than the entire, like, if 43,000 stand for delivery in March of this year, which is only 43% of the current open contracts, that is as much. That is the equivalency of the entire year's deliveries in 2024. The entire year's deliveries all in 1 month, not spread over 12 months, to where they have time to gather new, material, refine it, melt it down, turn it into bars, ship it. That was a whole 12 months in 1 month is my prediction. I think we legitimately see 40 to 45,000. I'm going on the short end of 40,000, but I think it seems reasonable that that's what could happen because, again, it went from 5,000 in March of 2024 to 16,000 in 2025 at almost a 2x increase. Another small 2x increase would be, 32,000, 257 or 258, whatever it is. But we look at the difference between January. So we follow the same trajectory that January did. Well, January is almost, in theory, 2.5x. So it goes up a little bit more. So I think that we're going to see, again, I think that silver just absolutely, highlighted the wrong one. I think that silver absolutely breaks the system in March. And unfortunately, the system has so much money and power into it. I don't think the COMEX is going to let the system get broken. I think that they're going to push back or make some changes, or they're going to see maybe that maybe they're already factoring this in since December. They could be, all the changes that you saw in December, all the flushing, all the forcing closures of contracts. Maybe that was already happening since back in December, and that's what they were doing. And I just kind of came across this. It's possible. Suppose has the AI trading bots need about 2 months to manipulate the market in their favors? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, bots work pretty quick. All right, Brilliance. The system will collapse. Silver and crypto will rule. New government. Smart cities will prop up. Smart cities ran by crypto incoming. Real smart cities ran by silver. Fall of all corporate government. Book of Revelation says fall of Babylon is incoming. Just watch Mad Max as a possibility. Yeah, Mad Max is I think we've all seen Mad Max. It's a little bit extreme out there, but I'm not going to say that it wouldn't be a possibility. You have all these small groups of, tribes essentially that all try to protect their best interest and go out and raid to get supplies for their group. Like, I could see that in a very apocalyptic style world in the US, but I think that we underestimate the amount of corruption and control that these agencies have. I mean, just the other day, the SEC was caught. I don't know if you guys watch Economic Ninja, but he was talking about how the SEC was caught basically colluding with traders to perform illegal short sell trades and stuff. So, and they're supposed to be the oversight regulatory body, and they were the ones actually involved with it, taking kickbacks and stuff. So again, all these when there's this much money in it and this much power and control, a lot of crazy things can happen on a dime that they won't even care at that point who gets affected or what potential outcomes there are. They will just do it because they have to, because of the money involved. Colorado, what's up? I heard people talking about this 5 years ago, and it was hard to see that far out, but I had conviction. Glad for that. Yeah, you did, buddy. People have been talking about it I've seen a few channels that claim that they've been talking about it for a long time. I didn't go back and watch all their old videos to see if they're, telling it right, because it doesn't matter to me who was right and who was wrong per se, unless you just assume that because they were right about one thing that they're going to be right about everything, right? I mean, I guess it's possible that, that credibility type thing, but for me, I just look at the here and now and what's going on and try to evaluate it the best I can. But yeah, I mean, I could claim that silver's going to be, $1,000 an ounce, and be wrong for, 25 years. Then all of a sudden I'm right on the 26th year, but it doesn't mean that I had any real insider knowledge. I could just be, pulling the magic out of my, culo. We'll see. EPM possible blackout and pandemic as a worst Mad Max scenario. Yeah, the thing is though, I don't know. I was kind of looking at it we have so much solar power and batteries and stuff like that. I don't know. I was looking at this idea of just getting a hybrid generator that runs off of fuel, but it also runs off of solar energy and stuff like that. So you could always kind of have some sort of power source as long as you maintain that piece of equipment. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it all goes. I don't really know. But yeah, the main gist of this conversation today, I mean, obviously Silver Sprite, Silver. Oh my gosh, guys, did I just like, we close our eyes for a minute on the price here, and we have now, should we just stay live until we see $90 silver? My God. Silver is up 3%, up to $89.40 on the Kitco bid price right here. Yeah. So that was just a second ago, $88.99 or something like that. Already pumped up again, 3% this day. The price is getting, I mean, again, this is a 5-day chart, and we're about to be talking about $90 silver, man. Yeah, 88.93. Now it's 89. 89.40 right now, Brilliance. We are there. We're breaching some new territory for sure. 89.60. Yeah. They ask. I only go off the bid, guys, just so if you guys if you guys have been around the channel for long enough, the bid is what buyers are willing to pay, right? So this means that somebody is making an offer to buy at $89.40, and this means that somebody is making an offer to sell at $89.65. And as we all know, just because you're offering to sell something at a price does not mean that it's its true market price. It's not its true market price until it's bought at that price, and it's bought by the bid price. So, like if I had an ounce in silver right now and I listed it for $98 on eBay, it doesn't mean that the silver's worth $98. It just means that I'm asking $98 for it. You feel me? So this is the only number I care about. I don't care about SD Bullion's Bull S spot number. This SD Bullion. You know how many times, guys, I get somebody that posts me SD Bullion's spot price as if like that is the current future spot price. This is just the spot price that they have on their site for what they are selling their silver for. So this is essentially SD Bullion's ask price. And every time somebody clicks on one of these buttons and purchases something, they are basically saying that they're willing to pay that, even though the current spot price is here. But yeah, I got you though. I'm with you though. Solar and batteries, off-grid, and electric truck. No more electric bill or gas bill. This is the way. Yeah, but you have to... yeah, the thing about the truck, Brilliance, is you got to have the way to charge it. And if there's no electrical grid, eventually there's going to be a point at some point, I would imagine, that the solar power can't keep your truck going. But I guess, maybe, over a few days or something it'll charge. I guess it depends on how many panels you have on the top of your, your white Chevy Econoline roof. We'll see. Serpents! I'm still new to the channel and learn the difference between bid and ask, but most sellers I buy from go with the ask price on Kitco, so that's what I usually refer to. Yeah, I mean, I would just not do that. I would tell them, nah, man, I go by the bid. Yeah, but I mean, people can ask whatever the hell they want. They literally can ask whatever they want, but until that number goes to that number, that means nobody's willing to pay it. But it doesn't matter. I mean, again, none of that really matters when your chart looks like this. I mean, I don't even know. Like, Ray Charles could figure out what direction silver's going. You know what I mean? It's just crazy right now. These charts, a blind squirrel gets a nut, and right now it doesn't matter. As long as we are all out there trying to gather nuts, we're gonna be winners, man. There has yet to be any solid resistance since literally $50 an ounce. What date was that? I don't even know anymore. Was it like 6 months ago? Yeah, okay. That was a good guess. 6 months ago was the last place where we ever found any sort of resistance level at, really, it was like $52, $53 an ounce. That was the last place where we felt like we had any actual real resistance. Everything else after that has been a joke. Like, even these downtrends from 84 to 72, that was like one day at the end of the year, literally before the COMEX closed for like a holiday. And then it came back up, and then it fought through it. Like, this is natural in terms of like a, rapidly growing thing. But yeah, the last time we've had any real resistance level was like right here. Like, and nobody remembers this anymore. 6 months ago, a lot of people didn't even start buying until this point. Yeah, we have, dude, we had, so 50 was like this shallow cup and handle, right? So I mean, I guess you could theoretically take something like that and you can move it over to like, obviously it blew out past that. But then we have like, you can already see like another like pseudo cup and handle like forming right here too, right? I mean, there's a lot of positive charting patterns going on with silver right now, and it's kind of crazy. A lot of positive, bull flags, a lot of cup and handles. Um, yeah, yeah. That was 4 months ago exactly. We fought the good fight to get past 50, and we've never looked back. Never looked back. 15-1 ratio. I'm telling you, watch it. Hey, Brilliance, you've been consistently saying it. I'm not there yet, but I'm a believer. I wouldn't leave her if I tried. You get what I'm saying? I'm becoming more and more of a believer in that 15-1 historic ratio. I never, ever in my wildest dreams thought we would ever get there. I mean, we still let's get through 50-1 first, right, guys? Like, can we get through 50-1 first before we start going on 15-1, please? We're at 51.38, okay? Okay? Did I do the wrong thing trading my silver for gold at 68-1 ratio? Sure. I could have got 18 more ounces worth of value out of it. But here we are. Brilliant's going solar and batteries off grid and electric. Oh, wait, I already read that one. Panels and windmills plus battery bank shed will feed the truck. Yeah. I mean, if you set it up, you'll be good. The introverted Californian, welcome. I bought 1,000 ounces during COVID when spot was $12 an ounce. Yeah, nice job. Congratulations. 50 was a small cup and handle, up to 52, down to 46, up to 54, down to 48, up and away we go. Yeah, we'll see. That could be 7-1 ratio or better eventually. Man, that is a bold prediction. That is a bold prediction, the introverted Californian. And I think you just joined late. We literally just spent, you might want to go back and rewatch the stream. I'm going to actually call it probably pretty soon here just to keep it shorter, because we've kind of already covered the gist. Unless you guys, if you guys want to keep talking about silver and watching the chart and we stay on until it hits $90, which won't be that far from now. I'm happy to stay on until 90, but we did just talk about this. The introverted California is like, if you look at the COMEX, if you look at open contracts, this is 100,764 open contracts that in theory, every single one of these in theory could stand for delivery and close to deliveries. They could in theory. They probably won't. It'll probably be more like 40,000 or less. But very simply, if each contract is worth 5,000 ounces and 40,000 of them stand for delivery, that's 200 million ounces of silver in a COMEX system that really only has, right now, ready to go, 439 million ounces. Yeah, we have some craziness on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. And March, I'm telling you, write it down. The old Dragoon says that March is D-Day. March is the apocalypse of silver and the COMEX and the banking system. It is going to get buck wild in March. If we think it's been buck wild now, I really do think March is going to be just they're going to be pulling rules and restrictions out of their culo that we couldn't even dream up, trying to limit people from physical delivery. I think 15 was my first goal. 15 is your first goal. Okay, fine. 50 seemed unreasonable to me for a while there, so we'll see what happens. I wish I had started a few years ago instead of 9 months ago, but I'm glad, dude. Well, I wish I had bought 10,000 ounces, when it was $5 an ounce a long time ago. I wish I didn't sell my entire American Gold Eagle proof set back when I was young and dumb for $1,700. I mean, proof set, not proof eagle, proof set. Anyway, I know someone willing to trade 7 ounces of silver for 1/10 ounce gold round. So that puts you at 70 to 1 silver serpents. Isn't that bad? Am I misunderstanding here? So if you gave them 70 ounces of silver, you would get 1 ounce gold rounds. And to me, that is a bad trade, unless I'm misunderstanding you, because I'm looking at that going, you should be, if the GSR is 51 to 1, you should be able to give them 51 or 52 ounces of silver and get a gold round. So 1/10, you should be able to give them, let's just call it 6 or 5. I feel like serpents, you might want to see if you can negotiate them down a little bit, because honestly, I'm not seeing that much of a premium on 1/10 ounce gold and fractional gold on peer to peer, especially if you're going into like pre 33 gold. Pre 33 gold, you can get dang near for spot. I know a lot of local coin shops that I've heard, just they're selling it to refineries anyway, so they're accepting spot for payment on that. No, I appreciate GIF gift 2842. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you being here, and yeah, thanks for your input as well. If you guys are lurking in the background, make sure you click the like button, support the channel. If you're getting anything out of it, if you're not, I understand, and there's plenty of other channels out there as well. Well, if it's a physical shortage, 7 to 1 is very possible. Yeah, again, I'm not saying anything is impossible. I just think that some things are improbable. My prediction has been this since the beginning of the year, and I'll keep saying it again. I think March 18th. I'm giving an exact gosh darn date for you boys, so you can basically tell me I'm wrong 100% of the time here. I believe that on March 18th, 2026, silver will hit $100 an ounce, and it will have the biggest fight of its life. And that's what I'm calling the D-Day for silver, is March, because we have all these contracts being potentially stood for delivery. 100,000 contracts, got 100,000 contracts. It beats out the entire like year. It beats out in 100,000 contracts. It beats out, hold on, where's the one I want? That's the one I want. It beats out the entire year of 2025 if they all stood for delivery. It would be cataclysmic. If only 50% of them, 50% of these contracts stand for delivery, it will be greater than the entire sum of 2024 contracts that stood for delivery. Am I the only one that finds that to be absolutely incredible? That's a real possibility coming out here right now? I don't know. 2 to 1 during Jesus' time could return. Now, Brilliance, you've been pushing it. I will give you credit, Brilliance. You have not been shy in saying that you believe that we should be going to biblical 2 to 1 terms. At the very least, was 7 to 1. You have been up there. You have been up there saying that. I agree. Been popping in and out. My other dudes, none of you are done. Penny Scout, I'm not sure what you mean, but thanks for being here. Appreciate you. March Madness, Colorado. Exactly. I might be a little behind on the chat. I will get caught up pretty quick here. The introverted California. There are people in this chat who hold enough silver where they could have bought a castle with the servants to go with it 500 years ago. The introverted Californian. I know. There's actually, I'll be honest with you, there's some people on this channel and in this chat that actually have enough gold and silver, today's prices and US dollar equivalency, to buy a castle. You know what I'm saying? Silver servants talking about that 7 to 1 trade. You think it's bad? The new EV batteries that use a ton of silver have not even gone into mass production yet. Yeah, we'll see how that goes out. Like, just because they exist doesn't mean that they even will go into mass production, first off. Also, remember, technology always gets more efficient, gets cheaper to produce, and gets smaller. And, you know, it's just technology will always do that. So as soon as they come out with one solid state silver battery, guess what? They're going to instantly start looking at a way to improve it and make new technology on it. There's also new, we covered this in one of my live streams. There's a new chip coming out for data processing for data centers, and these chips can obviously be used in AI, robotics, smart cars, all that stuff. But what the chip does is, you know, formally you would have to have 2 chips. You'd have to have like basically one for memory, and you'd have to have another one for compute power, which is doing all the logical operations on the memory and then transferring the data back and forth between the memory and the compute, memory, compute, blah, 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 blah. Get it? This new chip does it all on one chip, and therefore it's claiming to be 90% more energy efficient and like 10 million times faster for compute speed. So that's just an example of how, and you can go look at this all up, the recent like CES videos and stuff like that if you want to really dig into it. I made a video, an entire video where we discussed that chip and we discussed robotics. I don't know the name of the titles of the videos, but it's out there if you guys want to look into it. Hey, what's up, Pang Stockpiles? Appreciate you guys hopping in there. All right, the silver run-up is all a ploy by the San Francisco 49ers so they can get more gold. I guess. All right, guys. Oh, we were so close, and now we're yet so far away. We were already up to 89.70. I thought we were going to punch through. We got our micro pullback on the moment here. What do you guys think? You think we're going to hit 90 tonight? I didn't even, in my wildest dreams, I did not think that we would hit 90 this quickly. It's just so crazy. I think the stock market crashes and the new system rises from the ashes, but what does the new system look like? Yeah, the stock market crashing, I don't think you guys really understand. I really don't think you guys understand. If you say something like that, like you mean it, the stock market crashing would be the greatest humanitarian crisis to ever face the United States of America, if not the entire world. More people would suffer. More people would lose everything that they own. They would lose their homes, their medical assistance, their ability to buy food. Because this day and age, all of our retirees and all of our upcoming retirees and everybody is 100% dependent on the stock market being high, because that's where like at least 50% of their entire value. The other 50% is probably in their home. So what are they going to do? Lose all of their money in the stock market because it all crashes and goes to zero, wiping out literally like every pension on the face of the earth. Like it would be cataclysmic. It would set everybody who worked their ass off for their entire life to zero and have to restart. And then the only way to make ends meet would be to sell their home or refinance their home, taking out a massive loan and debt which they couldn't repay and then defaulting. Like that cannot happen. And I say that as in, like, I think the government and the Federal Reserve will do everything in their power to never, ever, ever allow that to ever happen. Whether that means, printing, quote unquote, printing $500 trillion and causing hyperinflation just to keep the values up there. I think that's what they would do, man, before they let it crash. Seriously. Charles Schwab says you will own nothing, be happy. Yeah, that was the what was that? The World Economic Forum. There was a lot more to that quote than just that. While I do agree that quote is pretty gnarly, there was more to that quote. And what they were saying is that everything would be on a rental system. So basically, everything would be rented. And you pay basically a subscription for your entire life for everything, and you would own none of it. It sounds miserable, and it sounds like the elites and kings of the world trying to own the populace as their serfs and slaves. Which, I mean, again, I know we got it all. We got it pretty good. I'm not saying we got it bad, especially if you're in the United States of America. A lot of other great modern cultures and countries have it great as well. We have it great. Our poverty is owning a vehicle, having cable television, having internet, probably a computer, a smartphone, air conditioning, hot water, and we just eat cheaper food than our neighbors who might have more money than us, right? So I'm not saying we have it terrible or anything, but we do live in a system already today where a good majority of us go to work every single day and we work for somebody else who tells us when we have to wake up, when we have to go to work, when we're allowed to eat, when we're allowed to take a break, They determine how much money that they're going to pay us, which determines our quality of life, which determines what we get to eat, what kind of clothes we get to wear, what kind of, car we get to drive. And every now and then, if we're good, they bring us up to the big house and they throw us a little party and they tell us how much they appreciate us, and then they let us get back to work. And let's just be real, for most of us, that's the system we live in. And the only way to break out of it is to do what we freaking do, guys, is to invest your money into assets that can grow, that can pay interest, that can compound, to put your money into a system that can't be taken from you. In theory, I guess, technically it could be. But, in some ideas, it couldn't be as well. I don't trust banks at all. So you said, you will eat the bugs. Scroll up a bit, brother. Where on the chart? Or what? Sorry, here, chart? Gold and silver rising like this could be a sign of the stock market crash. Well, I don't know. Right now, they're all kind of trading in tandem. In back in the day, you were talking about how you bought a long time ago. Well, you bought during COVID, but before, oh no, you said you bought for $7. That, I don't know, whenever you bought, maybe 20 years ago or 15 years ago, I would agree with you that gold and silver sort of they traded inverse to the stock market, because the stock market was typically a sign of economic strength, and therefore gold and silver went down. And when the stock market crashed, in theory, as long as it wasn't an overall recession where everything crashed, in theory, it would go up, right? I'm trying to find it, dude. Sober Stacker says, scroll up and see my question. Can you do me a favor, Sober? I hate to do this. I've got too many comments and I'm not seeing it. Can you just throw your question out there again? I'm sorry about that, man. Possession is a 9/10 law. Cricket flour is already in our foods. Oh, that's because the bugs. Yeah, the bugs. There's animals. Yeah, crickets, bug pieces, and particles are in your ketchup and all that stuff. And it's all that. Copper question. What's the question about copper? My question. I'll try to see it again. It's a lot of words to read through real quickly. Sober, where are you at? Sober Stacker 71. Okay, is this it? Can't copper do the same as silver when it comes to tech, but just slower or something? I'm not an electrical scientist here, but I don't know that it can stand up to as much probably heat. It might have a different use case. I think it's less conductive, therefore it probably, in technical terms, probably is slower to transmit electricity from one, I guess, connection conduit to another. I don't know, man. I'm not the guy. It is used in obviously copper wiring and stuff, because it's probably just cheaper and more affordable to do a 2,000 feet of copper wiring than silver wiring, I would imagine. But typically in, I guess, small fast exchange electrical circuits, I believe that silver is just simply the best conduit to use there. I think gold can be used as well, because gold does not corrode, but gold's obviously extremely expensive, so there's no point in using gold in an application like that. I didn't think about that. Yeah, the corrosion is part of the issue as well. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I'm not the greatest person to tell you the exact use of it. I have a buddy of mine who actually works in that field who could probably explain all that a lot better. I mean, sure, we could all look it up. So yeah, don't be fooled. You're saying I think it's better for all the AI stuff. I said this. I talk about AI a little bit more. AI stuff is very simply data and the transmission of data and logical functions being pressed against this data, right? So anytime you think of AI and the boom of AI, what you need to think about are essentially data centers or data center-esque, construction, where they need massive amounts of data storage and data computation in basically giant server rooms. And yes, silver is massive. There's a massive amount of silver used in data centers. I think one of those things that a whole bunch of people kept talking about solar and solar and solar. And yes, solar is the clear predominant use of silver today. And then like EVs are up there as well, and they're growing. Obviously, the demand that solar and EVs are doing year by year is increasing constantly. However, data center infrastructure requires tons, like the literal tons of silver to build out these data centers. Data center production is getting like greenlit all over the US at least, and all over the world when we're in this AI arms race. And again, AI arms race just means the acquisition, and the sorting and the logistical computation on data. And the more of it you have, and the more that you're able to process faster and faster and faster, this thing can exponentially grow on itself, but it needs the servers to be able to do that. That's why those chips that I was talking about, 15, 20 minutes ago are so important. Because if those chips make that process faster and are 90% more energy efficient, well, if they're 90% more energy efficient, they're going to require less electrical components and less cooling components and less energy components. And in theory, less raw materials, right? So all of that, I mean, again, technology is a hard one because technology always goes up and down, up and down, up and down, right? There's no perfect world in which technology gets created and then it is then forever used in the same state and requirements that it's always been produced in. Anybody who's ever owned a TV over the last 20 years understands that, or even a cell phone, right? It will always, always, always continue to get faster, cheaper, longer lasting, and smaller, and smaller. It's just the way it all works. Samsung is developing EV battery. Yeah, I've heard all about that. And we'll see what happens, road trip. But yeah, I mean, it's called the silver solid state battery. There are already solid state batteries on the market, by the way, for some things, not for these EVs, but there already exist solid state batteries. Samsung's silver solid state battery obviously just probably does everything faster, as you see, 9-minute charging time, which is awesome. I think that's very good. I think that's going to be an advancement for the EVs. But that is going to be the first series of that technology, and then there will be a volume 2, and then there will be a volume 3, and a volume 4, and a volume 5, and we have no idea where volume 5 is going to be in comparison to volume 1, right? It could be it could be half the size, half the components, and charge 10 times faster for all we know. We really just don't know. We don't know how it's going to work. Silver is required for Dubai to seed clouds and make it rain on demand. Well, there we go. There we go. Cloud seeding going on here. My analogy, would I rather use dial-up or fiber optic? Yeah, that's a good one too, TN Artist. It's the same thing, right? Like, it is what it is. I'm with you, silver stacker. Do not sell your silver. I mean, I wouldn't be selling yet. I mean, is it fair for us to say, like, outside of any cataclysmic government oversight or overstepping their bounds, is there anything that you look at this chart and you think to yourself, man, I should sell right now? Like, I get it. Like, we're at anybody. I would not blame somebody for saying, oh, we're at the top at 54 when it fell to 49 and they sold. I wouldn't blame anybody, because to me, that's a perfectly logical explanation to make for yourself. You go, oh, we topped. I wouldn't have blamed anybody at 60 to go, oh, we topped. I wouldn't have blamed anybody when we broke through 70 and said, oh, we topped. Wouldn't have blamed them when we broke through 80 and said, oh, we topped. And here we are breaking through 90 today. So I can't blame anybody if you're in that pinch and you need the money and like you're seeing your net worth and it's all, let's say you have all, whatever, all you have is 1,000 ounces of silver, right? That's your entire net worth. And you bought at like 2 years ago at, let's just say $18 or let's $20 an ounce. And you've now almost 5x'd your money in 2 years. How could I not tell somebody, like, it's understandable that they're going to sell some? In fact, in that situation, if you sell half, you've made a tremendous profit that you can put that cash instantly into something else valuable that you need, or another asset that you think can go up. But what other asset, literally question for the audience, I guess, what other asset is there right now that is beating silver's trajectory? And the only thing I think that can stop this is some ridiculous law that makes it illegal to own, or some ridiculous rule that it's illegal to purchase new quantities of it. Maybe you can still own what you already have, but you can't purchase it. Or maybe some rule that the US government says that all coin wholesalers and dealers must sell their silver to refineries so that they can satisfy that silver future demand of 100,000 contracts that are coming up in March. Or the COMEX literally just says shuts everybody off. I don't expect another margin call soon. Yeah, absolutely. The outskirts. I think they just changed it from a set rate of like whatever it was, $28,000 margin, to now it's a percentage margin based on the, I guess, the quantity that you have invested. So we'll see how that works out. It didn't seem to make a dang difference, did it? Did it? It has not done anything to the price. You like my chart, guys? I just like to just scribble. It's crazy. It is crazy. Yeah, selling is a personal choice, individual sort. Yeah, exactly. That's why TN Artists, like, I'm not one of those channels that ever berates somebody that's for selling. I talk about, again, here, this is always a good time for this. I just come on here and I talk about what I see, and I talk about what I'm doing, literally what I'm doing. I'm not talking about what you should do or what anybody else should do. I'm not talking about what I think is a good theory. I literally am doing the exact things that I say. Like, if I say that I'm going to sell 5 ounces or 10 ounces if it gets to 90, well, by God, I'm going to sell 10 ounces. If I say that I'm buying 90% silver because I can pick it up for 10 to 15% back of spot all day long. That's why I'm collecting 90% silver, because I do think that, and you guys should go watch Sober Stacker's channel. Sober Stacker's been calling local coin shops around him, and the margins are continuing to tighten and tighten and tighten. And he even said in his most recent video that his coin shop said that people are coming in buying a whole bunch of 90% silver, asking for 90% silver, buying it and leave it, because, you know, when there's value and deals to be had, people will figure it out. It happens, right? And you know, again, the things I talk about on this channel are the things that I'm doing. They're not things that I'm trying to coerce somebody else into doing. If that makes sense. They just did it at close today, so we won't see what happens until U.S. markets open. Well, Spirit, yeah, I agree with you. You know, it always matters on what the U.S. markets do on open, but I mean, it's hard for the U.S. markets to push back when we're already up 4%. Like, even if the U.S. markets push back a little bit, I mean, I don't know, man. It is crazy. Yeah, this is an entertainment channel, baby. I literally have it classified as entertainment on YouTube, just so you know. Don't steal or stack precious metals. The government hates competition. NWO know it all. What's up, dude? Legal tender is Satan. Silver is God's lawful money. God's rules are freedom. Legal tender is Satan's. Well, you know, we live in a debt-based economy, and, like, again, Brilliant, I know where you're coming. I know where you're coming from with these comments, but, like, we would be a little foolish to not acknowledge the fact that it is the democratic system, it is the capitalist structure, it is the US dollar fiat system that has given most of us the opportunity to purchase all of these precious metals, to give us the opportunity to build a business and grow a business, to grow an income, to save our money, to choose the profession that we want to be in, to change our lives if we need more income, to, like, go find a better employment or to go create a new business, right? We are in a country that allows us as individuals to pursue those dreams and to build and generate wealth for ourselves. So I understand where you're at with this. Like, fiat is bad and stuff, but without the fiat system, 99% of us wouldn't even be watching channels about, you know, stacking metals, because we could never dream to afford them or own them, or never would think that having the opportunity in our lives would exist, right? It may bring it back to even. Yeah, Spirit. I mean, there is a chance. There's always a chance it brings back to even. I thought that was going to happen yesterday. Or today. I don't even know what day it is. I thought that was going to happen today. That we were going to pop up real heavy overnight, and then we were going to come back down to earth today, and we just never really did. Right? We just kind of kept going. No legal tender law is ever needed to make men take good money. It's only used to make them take bad money. That's a good quote right there. I like that. Good men must not obey the laws too well. Ralph Waldo Anderson. Are these blank rounds? So, oh yeah, I guess I could explain what this is. So Pang, I wanted to start learning how to melt and pour my own rounds, and so I got out there tonight and I made these little rounds. They're about 1.5 ounces to 1.8 ounces. So I want to get them closer to 1 ounce. And my next step is to I'm not sure if I'm going to polish them up or not, but I might polish them up, and then I'm going to stamp them with my name and date. Most of these will honestly probably be remelted and repoured, because I was just practicing my system, making sure I had the right tools and everything worked. And it did, but this is not silver. This is called R95 pewter. So it's like kind of like a high quality pewter that has silver and copper inside of it. So yeah, I mean, I was just learning how to do all this stuff, and I want to get good at it. But it's really cool. I mean, I like it. Like, that's a nice little disc, and some of them are, my thicker ones are more round, but they weigh more than 1 ounce, which is what I was going for. So yeah, these are cool. So yeah, I'm gonna learn, and this is gonna be a channel member perk. My goal with these is that when people become channel members for 6 months, I will stamp like their name or something into the round and the date, and I will mail them out to the channel members as an appreciation for their financial support for the stream and stuff, along with all the other giveaways and things that we do. So yeah, that's the goal with them, bud. Yeah, I figured you'd appreciate that. You're the caster out there. Silver vanilla wafers, yeah, basically. Yeah, I've got a quote here explaining the people that I'm trying to get in to my channel. We got Thousandaire Radio out there, and Thousandaire always talks about trying to build a community of wealthy individuals, right? And so here's my goal with my channel. This is the type of people that I want in our community here. You ready? All right. In Judges, Gideon asks God how to choose his men for battle. The Lord told Gideon to take his men down to the river and drink. The men who flopped down on their bellies and drank like dogs were no good to him. Gideon watched as some of his men knelt down and drank with their heads watching the horizon, spears in hand. Though they were few, they were the men he needed. And that's the way I kind of view this channel. Is I may not always say, hey, what's up, Rural? I may not always say the things that are popular. I may be contrarian. I may be a cynic. I may, talk smack every now and then. But for me, I'm looking for a group of people that are always thinking ahead. Where can we move next? What's the next deal on the horizon? What's the next threat on the horizon? How do we prepare for it? And how do we protect ourselves and our families and our wealth from those who may want to take it from us? So that's where we're at. But anyway, quick recap before we exit. I was hoping that we'd get to a $90 silver mark before we exited, but real quick, if you're just checking in for what we're going on here, March contracts due to settle. Let me switch back over to screens. March contracts due to settle is going to be a massive cataclysmic event that's going to be on the horizon, guys. There are 100,000 contracts on the CME group. This is the CME group's website. Okay. This is their silver volume CME group website. 100,000 contracts open. If these stand for delivery, each contract is 5,000 ounces of silver. There really isn't that much silver left. If all of them stand for delivery, that means there's more physical ounces of silver needed for delivery than are currently available on the COMEX. It's a massive thing. You're going to see some craziness happen in March, I think, guys, or leading up to March or right at March. March is my silver D-Day. something big is going to go down because of the quantity of contracts that are being traded in March. This is massive silver volume going on the CME group. And then it peters out for the rest of the year back to kind of like normal. Now, obviously, these contracts, a lot of these are going to roll into the next month. So these numbers are going to go up over time in these subsequent months. But this is big. This to me is a big deal, and something is going to happen. So buckle up, be prepared, keep your eye on the markets, keep your eye on the news, keep your eye on your pockets. Because I have a feeling, my gut feeling is that somebody or something's going to be trying to reach out for some silver soon here. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, you guys are awesome, man. I really do appreciate each and every single one of you that stopped in here to watch the channel, even if you just dip and dive in and out. I get it. Please click the like button to show support. My goal today was 100 likes. I hope we get there. Let me end this poll. And we had 60 votes on the poll. And the poll says, do you have enough silver? No, I need more is at 35%. I feel you on that one. Yes, I'm happy where I am, 33%. And then there is never enough, 32%. So I appreciate you guys participating in everything tonight. We do these lives. I'm coaching lacrosse in the evenings right now, so I can't do every single night like I wanted to. For the month of January, we'll see how that goes. But right now, it's looking like it's going to be Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursdays will be our go live and have some fun with these precious metals markets. So God bless you guys. Appreciate you stopping in. Have a wonderful day. Keep stacking it up. Make some money. Protect your wealth. And I'll see you guys on the next time we go live. Peace out.